Are we live?
We are live.
Yes.
Welcome back, everybody, to another edition of Monday Cinema Club. Summer edition. What's up? Hello.
Hi, everybody. My name is Alice. Hi, 大家好，我叫 Alice. Yaxşımısınızlar, benim ismim Bahar Gül. Bizim sinema klubumuzga kelganlarga qarshi olamiz.
I'm Dante Bosco. My language is honor to everybody from the Fire Nation and Bangarang from Neverland. But today we are talking about movies. Everyone who joins us Monday Cinema Club, every Monday we talk about movies. And this week our movie was Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee. It was between Do the Right Thing and Summer of Sam, and y'all chose Do the Right Thing, which I love. I can't wait to talk about this film.
All right.
And next week you can go to at Alice Ramatula's page, and you can look at the movies for next week, which is
Punch Drunk Love, Boogie Nights.
And Boogie Nights from Paul Thomas Anderson. And we're doing filmmakers. And it's summertime today. What's up? Let me shout out everybody. Matt 30, what's going on? Mercy Durham, what's up? COVID Mo, what up?
I can't read that. It's too
I know,
far.
there's a bunch of people. How you doing?
Ben Momo.
Thank you so much. She loves our outfits. We're actually very holiday. It's summertime. And for everybody who was out there and wished me happy birthday, my birthday week, I appreciate it so much. Summer baby.
How you feel? A little older?
A little wiser.
Yeah, wiser.
Feeling Uncle Iro in here.
Oh, really?
But we're still summertime. I'm a summer baby. It's the last day of August, so we're still here. I know a lot of you guys started school, but that's rough, buddy.
Is this a school day?
A lot of people started school.
Oh, wow.
That's rough, buddy, for you guys.
Go find your honor.
Yeah, but we're in school too. We're in movie school today.
We're in the movie school.
And this is Monday Cinema Club. This is Do the Right Thing. This is Spike Lee. It is crazy to watch this movie. It is a summer movie. It all takes place one day on a summer, the hottest day in Brooklyn, New York. This was 1989.
The year I born.
Another summer. Sound of the funky drummer. That's from Public Enemy. That song was in the movie. So let's talk to you. Anything you want to say before we get started?
So the first off, you just said it by Spike Lee, and then casted by Spike Lee himself, Rosie Perez, Danny Aiello.
Rest in peace.
Yes, he played Sal, and then Giancarlo Esposito, and Samuel Jackson.
Young Samuel L. Jackson. There's so many people that started their careers here, and so many great performances. Should we just get into it?
Yes, get into it.
Let's get into it. So, for all you guys that don't know, we're gonna bring people in that watched the movie after me and Alice talk about our points of view on the film, and then you guys are gonna join us. We can further talk about this film because this is it's such a big film. So I'm just gonna go into it.
Okay.
1989, another summer. This is such a big film to me. I remember watching this as a kid in a movie theater.
This is your second time watching it.
I've seen it tons of times. It's been years, at least a decade since I've seen it. What you have to understand about this film, for me, is it's just so classic and a part of my mind. I grew up in the hip hop generation. A lot of the imagery, a lot of things they're talking about, a lot of the lingo is just kind of the foundation of a lot of the way we thought and dressed. It was the fashion, the music, the point of view was really big. And these characters, going back to look at them now, they're like all-time classic characters. I mean, Radio Raheem is a legendary character. Buggin Out, a legendary character. Mookie, played by Spike Lee, legendary. And so even before I ever went to New York for the first time, I watched this film. I listened to hip-hop music from New York, and this is what it meant to me. But watching it today, in the times we're living in now, still in civil unrest, still in race relation problems, it really hit me. It's like, wow, I can't believe it. This 1989, we're still talking about stuff. It's just as poignant today. It stings just as much today. It's as confusing as it was to me as a a teenager back then, it's still confusing to watch today, and beautiful. I mean, for the people who watch the film, if you haven't watched the film, you need to go watch this film. Yeah, as a filmmaker, I mean, Spike was so young and he killed it. It was really, he set up his neighborhood, and I've been to his offices in Brooklyn, Fort Greene, 40 acres and a mule right there, and he really captures his whole community. It's so dense. It's not like the other indie films where it's like 4 characters and you're kind of seeing these guys are 2 characters. I mean, there's
so many characters,
a dozen, and he's and different races, and he's it's the African American experience, the Italian Americans, the cops, the Asian guys who run the restaurant, the different parts of the different generation, the kids, how they're thinking, the adults, how they're thinking, the older generation, what's going on with them, and how they all interact. And a lot of it's through really cool and witty dialogue. Sometimes it's just through the camera, the angle, the looks, and the colors, and and you feel the heat all day long. You get hit with Rosie Perez, who's like bona fide New York Puerto Rican girl, like through and through. She ends up going out and having an amazing career. I don't know. I mean, I have so much more to say. I mean, I really love this film. We had a conversation afterwards. It's so, because it's not right and wrong, but it's just kind of how even the world is today. Even with the protests, it's like everyone has a point of view on it, and the way the film kind of unfolds. You see the right and the wrong in everything, and it's just left with like, what are we doing?
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I watched the film. This is my first time watching a film, and then after I watched the film, I feel like I never been to New York, and then first beginning of the film, like first 5 minutes, I already feel like, is this a New York cultural? This film set in the New York, and then I feel that local, that world right away within 5 minutes. Spike Lee, he's a visionary genius, and from the beginning of the shot until like first 15 minutes, what world are you in? What is the social problems? What is the, apparently what weather is it? You will see it. But beyond that, what character, the rich character, the neighbor, within the 5 minutes, right away, and you feel, as me, I never been to New York, but I grew up in a big city. I feel that city life right away. And then the fashion, the character, the neighbor, that like so many classes, and in so many like interaction and relationships, everything it's so easy and it's so clear. It's easy to understand and easy to it's easy to comfortable to watch it. And being a filmmaker, it's entertaining. He entertained us. It's a comedy and it's a drama. But you never thought, if you look at this script, and if you read the script, if you don't see it visually, you never feel like, oh, you will be worried about it. Is it a comedy? No. Yes. And a drama. Because why are we saying this is a comedy and a drama? Because the character, it's so fun to watch.
Right.
The each scene, the way they talk, way they interact with the neighbors, with each other, and then how they make fun of them each other. Like how they one of the guy, my favorite scene is his Jordan got.
Oh yeah. I got scuffed.
And then one another
it's real though,
like,
man. That's real. Like if someone jumps on your brand new.
That's hilarious.
And how all instigators are around.
And then that started to that problem. I mean, it's just a fun, super, like you can relate it. It's like, that's the reality of, even though I never been to New York, I felt that cultural right away.
I want to ask you, because obviously I grew up with a film and I was of that generation, and the generation to follow that was, very proud to be part of hip hop generation, that mindset. But this is America, you know what I'm saying? This is pre-Black Lives Matter movement, and you can see the same emotions and the same, and it brings it up again. But because you didn't grow up in America, like how do you view it? Like how did it hit you?
Well, I didn't grow up in America, but doesn't mean an outside world does not exist. The racism things not exist. Worldwide, it still exists. The worldwide racism things, not only in America, but in outside world, it still exists. So I do feel I identify or I do.
And you're a minority in your country.
Yes, I'm minority. I don't want to go that road.
No, but so you understand.
I understand super clear. I understand exactly what's going on. I understand each point of view, where they're coming from and where they want to go, and what is this system, social justice system, what is going on, what is the problem. But I do know that. But in America, we, like, as a free country, hopefully we still can keep our freedom of speech,
right.
Those rights. We can speak up. Anything wrong, things, we can speak up. We can go protest. We can write about it. We can protest about it.
But
in some other country outside the United States,
like in the film, things
you don't
escalate.
you don't have that privilege.
We're escalating right now.
We don't have a privilege to.
Well, yeah, you're from China, so you understand like the freedoms we have that y'all didn't have.
Not only China, some other country, you don't have that freedom of speech privilege as much as US have. But hopefully,
which can be problematic for us too.
Hopefully, we can keep this right. We can keep this right. We're not gonna lose this speech of freedom. And what I'm looking at this issue, I know exactly what's going on. But my question is, did character Mookie do the right thing? And that scene.
That's the thing.
Did he make the right decision?
I can't wait to talk to you guys about this again. This is
a big
look.
question.
I know we're talking about this film. You guys, I know it talks about racism. I know it's talking about a lot of things that's going on in the streets and in politics and everything today. Let's keep it peaceful in the chat. Let's keep it peaceful when we're talking about it. We could discuss these issues, and even though we're passionate about it, let's not, jump on each other. Whatever your points of view are, okay?
It's just that what makes different, like what makes people grow and then educate. As long as we have like communication, you can talk to each other and you can express yourself freely. Yeah. Without worry about it, like what label are you gonna put yourself? What group are you gonna put yourself? Without worry about that, you can express yourself freely.
What the beautiful thing?
With the respect.
Respect. But with the beautiful thing I like about the film, and the troubling thing is at the end, like you're saying, did Mookie do the right thing? There's spoilers here if y'all don't watch the film. It's 20, 30 years old. You watch the film. Like he ends up, there's a big fight between like the whites and the blacks. Basically, it's kind of escalating, and then the cops come and they really escalate even more by killing Radio Raheem, and we don't know where it's gonna go. And then Mookie, who works for his Italian boss at the restaurant, ends up throwing a
big
trash can through the window, and then that starts into a riot, burning the store, all kinds of stuff going on. And again, these are images in a movie, a fictional movie, that are not fictional in our world today, now.
It is happening right now, but it did already happen.
Yeah, and you could see the way he puts it out there, and it disturbed me when I was young, because it was like, it just sat wrong because it's like, you don't know what's right or what's wrong, because you see right and wrong on both sides of, you know what I'm saying, from the Italian side, from the black side, there's like, we need to put stuff on the wall, and you can see this is life. Nothing's always going to go perfectly, but we need to discuss things and get them out there. And then, when someone gets killed, now the whole shit burns down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even though after the movie there is a huge quotation by Martin Luther King and
Malcolm X, but they had different views on violence. They had a different
view of violence. I totally agree with Martin Luther King, and I also agree with Malcolm. So
but that puts you in a weird place. It's a great philosophically, but when it's in the streets or in reality, how it plays out is tricky.
It is, but we are, as a human, we're emotional human. We're emotional.
We're getting amped right now, y'all.
Sometimes you make a decision by your emotion, not by logical mood. If something happened, your emotion pops in, and you make a decision by your emotion. So the old law of an eye to eye Like, if you give me this, I'm gonna give you exactly the back.
Well,
if you hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you back exactly the way how you do it. So I don't think that's gonna lead us to right position, and then leave us everybody in the blind spot.
Yeah.
So we're not gonna make it understand each other. We're not gonna make understand each other. We're not gonna win opponents' understanding. We're not gonna win that. We're just gonna hurt, destroy, and then we're just gonna make.
But this is your first time seeing the movie.
Yes, this is my first
So
time.
when you saw Radio Raheem get killed, how did it feel? Like, especially it re-stimulates everything going
like, what
up today.
Is happening? I'm saying, what is happening? Why? It's unnecessary killing. This is absolutely unnecessary killing. So that's what I'm saying. As soon as I saw that, like, as soon as this unjustified, like, this system involved with this personal issue, the social system, if the social system does not fix, this problem never gonna fix, because our social system is broken.
I mean, so we don't know, but the filmmaking of it all.
Yes.
So back to film. So it's political, so it gets high for everybody. But on the filmmaking side of it, beautiful film, exciting.
It is exciting, beautiful film, entertaining, and then this goes to like super fun, entertaining. Like, you can feel the cultural, you can feel this racial conflicts, but they're talking about it, each other, Spike Lee, Mookie, and then that Italian guy. That's like, hey, let me talk to you something. They're having peaceful talk, conversation.
Yeah, I think
because the both side doesn't understand each other. So only way to educate other people to have an open, peaceful communication.
Right.
That's the only way.
And they had that at the end. So it's beautiful film. So let's just get back to filmmaking, and let me just know before we talk to people out there, what's your favorite moment in the movie?
My favorite moment is when every character, every moment, like when Spike Lee as a director, filmmaker, young filmmaker at 20-something years old.
Yeah, at that time.
So at that time, it's visionary genius. Why I'm saying, because every dialogue and then every punchline, every hip hop, the music, he tilted up the camera.
Yeah, the crew is crazy camera,
and then your character bigger, and you look down to the camera, you feel like you're powerful. You feel like your voice heard. You feel like you delivering that line super direct way, and in that being an audience, you receive that power.
So what was your favorite moment?
The favorite moment, like specific?
Yeah, like just one of them. There's so many of them, but what's your favorite moment?
I have so many, but out of my head right now, I will say when Spike Lee go back to his girlfriend and he kissed that romantic, that scene, put on the ice on her face. And
that was like
it's so intimate, and it's so human, and it's so sweet. This guy is struggling outside the world, but when he come home to the girlfriend, he's a cute, a human, care.
And seeing Rosie Perez as a teenage boy, that scene, but that was like a legendary. I think he dreamt of that. A lot of teenage boys dreamt about that for years.
And he's raising a kid. He's a father. You can't see the father side of him. It is beautiful moment. And another one of my second favorite moment is when Mookie and the Italian guy, they're having a conversation. It's like, yo, don't use that N word.
Aiello.
Yeah.
Oh no, Tortoro. The younger one.
Yeah, John Tortoro. Pino.
Yeah, John Tortoro.
He plays as Pino. So it was like, hey.
The performances were phenomenal, and you see a lot of these actors went on to have really vibrant and amazing careers. To see them in their young stage, and it's really, really, really beautiful stuff. I mean, we're gonna open it up to you guys.
Okay. Before we open it, do you want me to announce our guest list?
Oh yeah.
Our VIP guest, first one will be...
Every week you can DM Alice if you want to be guaranteed to be on, because a lot of people come on
before noon, like every Monday before noon. Please DM me your interest or your name or what you want to talk about it, and we're gonna reserve the spot for you guys. So first, Anna Rose, she's gonna bring her friend, and they're gonna talk about their...
Cool. And who's the last?
Opinion.
Who's going to close it down?
Last one is Nicole.
Okay, cool. So we're going to get Anna Rose in here, and then you guys...
Chrissy Nicole or Nicole Chrissy?
Nicole.
Nicole, yeah.
So if you watch the movie and you want to come and talk about it, hashtag Spike Lee one time. Just hashtag Spike, and we'll bring you in. We're gonna find the first person. And again, I know we're talking about movies. Oh, it's like she here. What is it?
First person, Anna Rose.
I don't see Anna Rose. Is she in?
Anna Rose Emmerich. Yes, that's the one.
I know, but she's unable to join. You have to come back in.
Anna, you have to send us a request. Otherwise, we can't pull you in.
Yes.
You're the first one.
So, and we'll pull you in. If you can't get in there, we're going to pull someone else. And you got to send a request and hashtag Spike will pull you in. Mm-hmm. Again, we're talking about movies. Of course, it's hard not to talk some political because this film is so politically charged and we're living in political times. But we're not here for politics. We're actually here just for filmmaking and passion of telling stories. And Spike really killed it on this. It even resonates, so heavy some 25, 30 years later.
Do you know the music composer of this movie is Spike Lee's father?
I did not know that.
Billy, yeah, he did the music.
And the music, speaking of that, we got on there. Yeah. There's so many, there's hip hop, there's jazz, there's all this jazz from the 70s, and it just reminded me a lot of things I grew up watching.
Hi!
Hey, how you doing? Hey. Welcome back to the stream.
Sorry about the complications.
It's okay. So how are you guys doing? How you guys have a good week?
Good, it's a good week.
Did you? So you obviously watched Do the Right Thing.
She watched it.
Have you watched it before? Or is it the first time watching it?
Yeah, this is my second time recently. Yeah,
awesome.
Definitely got to watch it more than once. It's pretty dense.
Yeah, it's pretty dense. It's a pretty dense film. There's so many characters and there's a lot of different levels of stuff going on. But drop some knowledge on us. What y'all feel about the filmmaking, the message, like how it came together, how it impacted you? Favorite moments, favorite scenes.
Well, I will say that my favorite moment was there's obviously a lot, but one of my favorite moments was when DeMayer was going into the store to go get his beer, and he was very frustrated because he
couldn't get that Miller High Life. Where's that Miller High Life at?
That part, he's like, you're asking a lot of me, and I was like, I understand,
Yeah, changing beers. It was great to see how Spike can kind of, within the African American community in the film, to see the different levels of, he's doing the older generation, the adults, the teenagers at that time, even the kids at that time, and how they're all interacting on that one block. It's pretty fascinating.
It was pretty good. What did you think? Like, what was your favorite scene?
It's difficult to say because, I think a lot of scenes play off of each other.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me in the film was, I think there was this reoccurring theme of sporting, a competition and winning. The MLK quote at the end, MLK is putting down violence because it seeks to humiliate the opponent rather than
that was heavy.
Standing, right? In the earlier scenes, Mookie's wearing a Jordan jersey initially, and then later a Robinson jersey, and then later there's that guy that scuffs Buggin Out.
Yeah.
He's wearing the Larry Bird jersey.
Yeah, John Savage. Yeah.
Then there's the scene where they do the racist monologues where
that always stands out to me forever. I mean, it's funny, it's poignant, it's serious, but it's funny and comedy. It's real. You hear people say all these things, and them all talking about different races talking about each other, talking about the cops and spitting things out, and done in a way that's so brash and harsh. But there's a comedic thing about it. It's a human nature in us. Things, but there's things you're not supposed to say. But there's things people say, and then to feel that each character's just going at it. Right into camera, right in your face, is so assaultive.
Looking at the cameras.
So un-PC. It was fast. It's still fascinating how he accomplished all that.
Yeah, and then at the end of everybody's piece, Love Daddy comes in like the ref. He's like, time out.
Time out. Yeah.
Everybody needs to chill. Right. It's all of the teams going
and that's Samuel Jackson, who becomes one of the biggest movie stars of the past generation, with all the biggest films ever. And it's he's that voice, that classic voice and tone and strength. But this is early in his career when he wasn't even that yet.
He didn't even left that story. All
Yeah, he was
these
the DJ
shots,
the whole time.
he's in the DJ, and then we can't feel his world. We can't feel his energy. So.
And what about the ending? Because the ending, I remember being so controversial back then. Still feels controversial to me now. But I think
I agree.
race relations in the world we're in, we're all living in controversial times. It's like if there was one right answer, we'd be there. But the reality is, we're all wrestling with
Right or wrong.
There's so many different levels of it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like we know what ultimately is right, but to get there is like so many variables. And there's and so it's very fascinating to see it. Because when you do a film, you can kind of depict it in many angles, which we may not be able to get to see ultimately in news footage and things that go on in our life today. And so the filmmaker can control it. And even in that, it's so chaotic, even in controlling it in that sense, where there's not a black and white, like, this is the right thing. You're like, there's a lot of right and a lot of wrong on everyone's part.
Yeah, you define that thing is right, but doesn't mean I think that's the right things to do. You think that's the wrong things to do, doesn't mean I think that's the wrong things to do either. So like people define right or wrong.
It's a great film to watch.
Different definition and different definition. So I mean,
like with I think one of the things that was really interesting when the kids were like heckling him and he was explaining his life story, he couldn't even explain his life story.
I know, even generationally it's hard, because and
decided he didn't do the right thing. He felt he did the best he could, and they decided that he didn't do the best he could. That's
cool. And even within them, it's like, he said, like, just do the right thing all the time. We all are trying to do the right thing, but it's like, it's different points of view. He's like, to him, he's trying to do the right thing, and to them, it's not. But to him, it's just like, it's such a loaded thing to say.
A different perspective. It's a lot of different perspective and a different point of view. So you can't say, this movie title is Do the Right Thing, but it's never about what is the right thing, what is the wrong thing. So just give the audience to open book. Yeah. You define what is right for you. I think
it lends to good conversation.
The only thing we define and we learn is by communicating.
This movie got Alice passionate, man. This movie got Alice passionate. But thank you guys so much for joining us on this stream.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks for watching the movie.
So don't forget to vote for next week.
Next week it's between Boogie Nights and I wanted Punch Drunk, which are both good films. But if it's Boogie Nights, I think it's gonna be so fun to talk about Boogie Nights because that film is crazy. And Alice has never seen it.
Both of them, I never seen it.
I've never seen either of them too. So
really?
Oh my God, they're both a treat. They're both really, really good. So if there's join us next week.
And thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely, thank you for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Anna Rose. Let's see. Right, hold on a second. Let's see. If you're in, I'm looking in right now. Throw up a hashtag Spike right now, and then we're gonna bring you in. Bam, 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 bam. Please, somebody. I got a few people. I'm just saying. I'm reading as we go.
I like how you read.
But there's people in here. Let's see. Hashtag Spike. Just to make sure I got someone. I don't know.
What is your favorite
scene, I love those monologues because of the brashness and in your face, and they're like classic moments that.
But why are you laughing so hard when the instigator said, "Look at your Jordan"?
The instigator's always that. In my neighborhood, we did the same thing. You always.
I feel like you're the
We like
guy.
Fights and stuff. We like to see. Sometimes we like to see
madness. I feel
madness.
like you're so close to that character.
I don't know. You pick somebody. I didn't see
anyone.
People.
It's fine. Let's pick someone.
Let's see.
Let's see. I'll help you.
You pick someone because I can't tell. I ain't seen any hashtags. Oh, I got. Okay, Taylor. I'm gonna get you next. Taylor, I see you.
Okay. Oh, hey!
Hey, how are you?
I can't see myself. Can you see me?
We can see you.
Yes. Oh, okay. I can't see myself, so that's an interesting.
You're 100% good. How you pronounce your name?
Great.
Go ahead.
How are you doing? From Turkey, right?
Yeah. I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing?
It was summertime in LA.
Hot.
It was like, it's actually cooled down, but like the movie, it was been super, can't take it hot, and you could just feel it on screen. You could feel it in the air. It really disturbs you, kind of puts you in a weird place.
It is.
But how about you? Did you get to watch the film?
Yeah, I actually watched it last year in my film class. That's why I was excited about this session. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Well, talk to us about it.
Drop some knowledge.
Drop some knowledge. Tell us about. I mean, obviously, you know the music aspects of it, which I can talk to you about because I love the music, from the hip hop to the jazz.
Please, Father.
And then the filmmaking. So go ahead. The floor is yours. I'm sorry.
You already talked about like the camera angles, so I'm not really gonna talk about that because like you mentioned the low angles and the high angles and the power dynamic between characters. One of my favorite examples for that was Mother, Sister and Maya, I think, because at first we see Mother Sister perched on a window and she looks down at the mayor because she thinks like lowly of him, and she thinks she's like more powerful in a way. And then gradually as the film goes on, we see that the angle actually balances out and they become friends. So that was very interesting to me because like it was low and high angle throughout most of the film, and at the end they were just like at the same eye to eye level in the camera.
Yeah, that's a good catch.
That's pretty good. Yeah, he was doing a lot of film stuff, and I even liked, you know, as we're doing independent films, just between time and how things, you do a lot of static setups, and he did some of those wide setups and let the actors act and himself do these wide scenes, and then he did some really cool stuff, which is hard to do with the way the camera's moving through the streets in this very kind of subtle way, and that movement to the jazz music is like poetic and beautiful, and kind of like a throwback to, I'm sure like him, he's a little older than me, but like all the 70s television shows and films that we watched, very much like just right there. And then he's from Brooklyn, so it's like he shot the poetry of Brooklyn, the color of the streets, the feel of the streets, the way just they're sitting on the stoops, and just sometimes it's great dialogue, sometimes it's just like holding on their looks, you know, and it's something very poetic about the whole film, which is beautiful.
Yeah, the beginning was kind of like the Cosby Show opening as well, with the jump dancing and I think the area is actually similar too.
Right away, I feel like that's the culture. I feel the culture right away, like the cultural,
Public
rich
Enemy.
public
Her dancing
things.
Public Enemy is like perfect.
Exactly.
And you see the contrast between red and blue when she's like boxing with herself.
Yeah.
And one side is blue and one side is red, like the police tension and the red.
I didn't think about that one.
It's subliminals. You got the subliminals going on.
I really like the moral dichotomy as well. Like you can't really tell, like in most movies the villains are very one-dimensional, so you don't really feel bad when they get defeated at the end. But like for Sal, I think he was very human because in behind the scenes footage the actor who plays Sal thinks like he's not actually racist, which is really interesting because Spike Lee says that he thought of him as racist, but he didn't think of himself as racist. So I think that made it more real in a case. Like when he was playing Sal, he was playing his
beautiful performance by Danny Aiello. And yeah, and New York is an interesting place because unlike a lot of other cities, you know, in America, everyone in New York is on top of each other like that. So they're dealing with each other, yelling at each other in the streets. Got to deal with. In Los Angeles, we're a little bit more separated from each other in cars.
Geographically, we're separated, so we're not.
But the humanisticness of how Danielle played that character, and again,
so real.
A lot of people think everything is black and white. There's so many gray areas of the human experience and how things are being done, and you get to see a lot of that through really, you know, Aiello and Mookie's character. They're kind of like both kind of in that line, and even at the end after everything's burnt down, and even yelling, throwing money at each other, and they're like, "Fuck off!" Like "fuck you." Then they're like,
"That's so personal."
But then he's like, "Are you good? What are you gonna do today?" Then it gets back to like their humanistic relationship.
Are you good? Are you gonna work?
Yeah, like how you gonna get through? You gonna be able to make it through? Like, and it's just like they become human again, and that's what we all want to get to, I guess.
So that's what I'm saying. Like when the personal issues, like the personal face-to-face, they have open conversation and they resolve it peacefully. Open conversation. They have to express themselves the way they want it, and then as soon as this police, social justice system involved, they're just gonna make a radical decision by their skin color or by the whatever the definition they follow.
What else, music-wise? What else you got to tell us about this film? What else stood out to you or impacted you?
I think that's the reason why we can't really say like he did the right thing or he did the wrong thing, because everyone was very complex. And even the love-hate monologue of Radio Raheem, I think it was an homage to like Hunter of the Night or something. I don't even remember the name. Like there was like a tattoo hate love thing, black and white movie. Yeah, I haven't watched it, but I've seen like comparisons in my friends.
Yeah, but
yeah,
it's
and we
ode
see
to
like a
another
lot of
film.
we see a lot of contrasting perspectives. Like even the African Americans in the film, they have like a good side and a bad side. When they're like I think like when the guy with the bicycle just like accidentally bumped into
Savage, yeah.
bugging out, and then he looked at his shoes, and the wrong side of his shoes was scuffed. So it was not actually the guy with the bicycle who did that, but he was. Yeah. Like we see both sides of each character.
So human. That's like a super real, like, I got that too. If somebody like step on my brand new shoes, I will get pissed so bad, but I wouldn't like express it right away. Like I'd probably like, oh, fuck it, whatever.
And it's a humanistic
but
thing
he just like expresses so cute.
not
that
even
guy.
in regards to race relations, but just how things can escalate from like one
Emotion.
person feeling one way, then no one jumping on board, then just needs one other person to add fire to it, and then you could blow something up that was like no one was even signing up for. Yeah, it was like what? And so it's really an interesting study in the human condition, community wise,
Dante, the guy, the instigator, behind, the yelling.
Your shoes is fucked up, man.
That's the one.
What about that music? I mean, the from hip hop to jazz is so beautiful the way he did that, and
yeah, it was diegetic too. Like we could hear people listening to the music actually in the street while we're tracking Mookie down the street. It was really organic too. I really liked it.
It just set the right tone to the film. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Well,
and I think my favorite scene was when the radio guy, what was his name, Love Daddy or
Dr.
something?
Love.
I forgot.
Dr. Love.
It's been a while. Yeah. He said, what did he say? There's no end in sight from this heat wave, so the cash money word is chill. Because like the heat is associated with the racial tension. I really like that part.
Yes,
you killed it. It was great. Well, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for joining us again, all the way from Turkey. Thank you.
How do you say thank you in Turkish?
Teşekkür.
Teşekkür.
Teşekkürler.
Teşekkürler. Awesome. Let's get some more people in here. So I said Taylor, right? Taylor. I said Taylor. I'm gonna get to you, Taylor.
Do you need a help? Do you need an assistant?
My finger is not working.
It's fine because you know what's
Your finger also is not working.
No, it's why it's
I got it. Wait,
I got it. Somebody screenshot this one.
This is not good. I got it. Here we go. Ready? And you do this, and then you do this. No?
No, don't tell.
How about this one? That's good. Okay, and then about this one. No one can request right now, and then maybe we can get it in the chat because it's not.
Who do you want to pull in? Tyler?
It ain't working. What's going on?
What happened?
Taylor.
Here. View. Don't catch it. You're gonna lose it.
How come it's not working?
What happened? We have technical issues.
We can't call anybody in. Is the hand too cold or hot?
I don't know. We're getting.
It's hot in LA. It's getting hot in this room.
We'll turn on my AC. Guess what? I have AC.
Maybe the phone's getting warm and you can't touch the screen. I don't know what's going on.
What happened? We got froze now.
Hold on a second.
Hey, Instagram. What's happening?
Here we go. Let me see again. Instagram is tripping. That works.
Yes. Why is this question works?
Purple Maniac says we need to do Scarface for next week. That might be dope. But actually, next week we're going to be doing
Scarface. I love Scarface.
No, we're gonna be putting that out there next week or two. But next week it's Boogie Nights or Punch Drunk Love. So go to Alice's and vote for either one. Tell us where we're at.
So far we have 22 against 24 votes. So Boogie Night is winning by two.
Only two
votes. So
Sarah says, "Why are you looking so good? Why you so good looking? Me or her?"
Of course, it's you.
And then I am a tiger says, "I'm a film student at Morehouse College. What's up? Shout out to Morehouse, which is where Spike went. Spike went to Morehouse.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Guess what? I still can't view any of the people.
Person?
This is not good.
This is not
Can we
good.
not? Hold on a second.
Oh
Let
my
me see.
God.
If I do that and then come back down, maybe. No. How come everything works except for that one? I don't know.
Connecting. Waiting for.
We got cancel out. That's why. I don't know.
You got froze.
I don't know what's going on. We're dumbfounded. But what should we do?
What should we do? Hold on. Try it one more time. Let's deep breathe. And
I don't know. Should we sign off and sign back on? I don't know.
Hold on.
Alice is like, I'm not about that life.
I hate giving up. No. Yeah, it's your phone is super hot. Do you want to sign off?
Oh, because the phone's warm.
We're gonna sign off and then we're gonna sign in right away.
Yeah, we're gonna sign off and sign right back in. So join us right back. We're gonna come in to end this one. So we'll see you in a second.